So if we have to execute a block of code for multiple times, then we will go for looping concept. Here we can loop how many times you wanted to execute, or we can specify based on condition. So we have while loop. It's like if condition. If the condition works only once, it executes only once, but while executes many times until condition fails. So let's say I'm giving x equals to 1. I will say that while x less than 10, this is going to become an infinite loop because I'm not incrementing. The x value remains 1, and you can see that. So I need to stop the code run. Stop the code run. You can check it how many times it got printed. Many times. This is the problem. That's why what we have to do is we need to increment. So I told you x plus plus, x equal to x plus 1. So it is executing for 9 times. It's executing for 9 times. That's it. So the initialization done outside of the loop. This loop is checking only the condition. If you specify, I wanted to execute some code until a message exists. I wanted to click on a button. I wanted to click on refresh until the message exists. So similar kind of stuff you can perform by using while. If condition is failed, it doesn't execute this block for not even once. But you have do while. It's the same thing, but do while executes the block first. Do while executes the block first and then checks the condition. You have do while and then checks the condition. So x less than 10. So here this condition is finished, but still at the end you will see 10. Observe that you will see 10. But if you don't have this one, you will see only till 9. Oh, let me execute this. You will see only till 9. You can see that. But do while at least execute once, even if condition is failed. So while checks the condition and executes the block. Do executes the block and then checks the condition. And next we have for loop. So both while and do will check the condition and executes the block. That means it is based on conditions. So do executes the block and checks condition, or while check the condition and execute the block. It's purely based on condition. But whereas for loop, we can able to specify a number of times. So the initialization, condition, incrementation, everything will be there in loop definition itself. Let me create a for loop. For, and then I will specify let I is equals to, you can use any variable name, I equals 1. Let's say I wanted to print numbers from 1 to 10, or I wanted to execute a particular statement for 10 times. Yes, you can do that. I less than or equals 10, I plus plus. So here I'm opening a block and then printing log 10. So now value 10 will get printed for 10 times. And in place of 10, if I use I, the value of I initially it is 1. So next I plus plus 2, I plus plus 3, I plus plus 4. How many times it will happen until it becomes, until this condition satisfied. So all loops are condition based, but here the initialization, condition and incrementation, everything is specified within the definition of the for loop. So now it is going to print from 1 to 10. And if you use I minus minus, so let's say I will print with one more loop with, I will start with 10 and then I less than or equal to 1 and then I minus minus, it is going to print numbers from 10 to 1. And if you specify, no, I wanted to print only odd numbers. So the actual logic is different, but here what I'm going to do is I wanted to print only odd numbers. I plus equals to 2. It will print odd numbers between 1 and 10. See that it will print odd numbers between 1 and 10, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, like this. So if you start from 2, it will print even numbers. So this is not the correct logic, but I'm telling you that, okay, this is the advantage of I plus equals. So this is the for loop. It will execute, depends on the condition, of course, but this will have the incrementation and initialization in loop itself. If condition is failed, it'll fail. That means it will come out of the loop. Next, we have for in loop for objects, for off loop for arrays, and also you have for each loop, that is an internal loop that we have. So we have multiple loops in JavaScripting. We can discuss them later.